While I enjoy big action games, I also enjoy story-driven narrative-style games, and there's a new one called Knee Deep out on the PS4, and it has the cool presentation of being a play performed in front of an audience. But is this game worthy of a curtain call, or will it just have you throwing tomatoes at the virtual stage? Knee Deep is one of those games that's completely driven by its story, dialogue, and characters as it progresses. The gameplay here with Knee Deep is basically making menu choices and dialogue choices as the characters perform the actions on the stage itself. The game story is broken up into 3 different acts, and the plot, while not spoiling too much, revolves around the suicide of an actor, land being taken over by corrupt politicians, a Scientologist-esque church or cult, and murder, and plenty of other stuff that goes awry as the story slowly unfolds. The game revolves around a small Florida town, swampland, and 3 central characters. You have Romana, a blogger for a celebrity gossip-like website, you have the private investigator KC, and then a local reporter named Jack. All the characters have their own quirks and backstories that you'll learn, and plenty of interwoven narrative that ends up transpiring between all of them. Your goal in the game is talking to the different characters as the story progresses and piecing together clues for what exactly is happening. Is things exactly the way they seem, or is something weirder going on? As the story progresses, it actually gets pretty strange and weird by the time it reaches its conclusion. What makes the game worth checking out is the script and the dialogue with the characters. There was plenty of moments where it had me laughing out loud, and made me want to keep going. For a game that's pretty much just making dialogue choices throughout the course of most of it, this didn't drag on at any point. I love the cynicism and sarcasm that's thrown in at almost every turn, and that easily became my go-to option when it came to the dialogue choices, because I just wanted to see what things my character could possibly say, and a lot of times I was laughing afterwards. While there are a lot of dialogue choices you're going to be making, the game always highlights when one's going to be more important than others. Basically choosing certain things, other characters will remember what you said and kind of throw it back into your face later on depending upon what you ended up picking. And the same goes for the kind of articles you end up writing. This really just ends up changing small amounts of dialogue as the game goes, and when you do make it to the 3rd act, the choices you make do affect it a bit more as the game can unfold a few ways, but overall there's not too many final ending points. There's also moments throughout the game where you will gather evidence and clues and then put together articles, whether it be for the blog website or for the newspaper, and you get to pick what kind of approach you want to take the article in, whether it be more cautious or more edgy, and there's some good writing when it comes to those as well. The game does have a handful of puzzles to put together, like piecing together fingerprints or putting together a fuse box where all the wires are connected, as well as deciphering a code near the end of the game, but it pretty much tells you where to put everything. You basically just pick a piece and highlight where you're thinking it needs to go, and if it lights up yellow, then you know it's in the correct location. You may have to rotate it a little bit, but this makes the puzzles really just kind of a distraction than actually an added gameplay feature, since they end up being pretty easy. From the technical side of things, the game didn't crash on me, but there was a bit of stuttering here and there, as well as just overall the animations weren't perfect. There were some times where things just seemed a little bit off. It's kind of hard to describe, but they just didn't seem very lifelike with some of the things that were going on, but it really didn't take me out of the experience by any means. Knee Deep is available on the PlayStation 4 for $14.99. It does feature a full trophy list and a platinum trophy, and like many games similar to this, it's a pretty easy platinum. It may take you a couple of playthroughs in order to figure out all the dialogue choices that are needed, but overall, it's a pretty easy plat. While this game is not for everyone, I think if you like the narrative-driven experience and you like kind of choices in games and some well-written dialogue, Knee Deep may be worth checking out, even if it has a bit of a high price point for the kind of game that it ends up being. The game also isn't exceptionally long, taking me roughly 3.5 to 4 hours in order to complete the 3 acts for the first time. In the end, I enjoyed Knee Deep. The writing ended up winning me over, so it's going to get a bit of a higher score, mostly because I ended up laughing a few times and enjoyed the characters in the game. So I'm going to be giving Knee Deep a 7 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.